Hello, welcome to the Bald Explorer early morning walk. Ooh, nearly got knocked over by a car then. This morning I'm walking down Portland Road in Worthing, where I live, and I wanted to go take another early morning walk, although it's not as early as I would normally like because we've put the clocks forward, and so now when I come out for a walk it's all a little bit extra busy. People are going to work and getting themselves organised. I'm going to start here by Christchurch. What I meant to do this morning, and I completely forgot, was to bring my stills camera with me, and so that I could do my walk, show you a few bits and pieces and take photographs, because and then edit that in, because people said, oh, could you show us more of the detail? And I thought, yeah, I can do that. And that's what I normally do on my walks. Only in my rush to get out this morning, forgot. Hey ho. But I'll do that in future walks where I can. So I'm going to walk down to the seafront again in a different way. And I appreciate people in Worthing will know the landscape very well, but people from overseas, people who have let me know that they used to live in the area or used to visit the area, they seem to be very pleased to have a little bit of England being shown and given to them. Bin men are collecting up the road. Let's come out through the gate here. And we'll carry on walking down. Now, I don't think I'm in Portland Road now. I forget which road this one is. You know what it's like when you live in a place, you frequent the road so frequently, often well, maybe you don't, you forget the names because they're so familiar with you. Again, more houses. This is lovely. Someone's flying the England flag, which is fantastic for my quest for England. That is just what I would do if I had space in my garden to have a big pole and a flag flying. It would be fantastic. Again, more of these Victorian houses, large apartments. This is probably one of the few times that I've really spent lots and lots of time walking around the streets in Worthing, certainly filming, getting exercise rather than going out into the countryside and looking at the urban landscape, and actually spending more time looking at the different types of architecture and the different colours of stone. Look at this rather beautiful building here, made, I think, more beautiful by that slightly yellowing stone, and another one next door to it. And it looks like the one adjoining it, for some reason, has painted the brick. I said stone, didn't I? I meant the brick. And then you get these, you see, look at this. Beautiful, isn't it? This would have been, I don't know, a rich person's villa at the edge of town with two reception rooms there and fake pillars. If I'd had the money, I would love to have had a place like that. But then, I guess, who wouldn't? Let's press on down. Below me, nearer to the sea, or parallel, perhaps I should say, is Montague Street, which I shall pass through, no doubt, because we're coming up to Buckingham Road. And here is a church. Here is a church. There's the steeple. Open the doors. You can't open the doors and you can't see the people at the moment. Here is a church whose name I forget, but at one time in this room coming up there used to be a juggling club in Worthing, and I used to go there and do a bit of juggling. That was some time ago. Just looking for the board to see what church it was. Buckingham Road Church is about all you're going to get. big. We have, I made a video some month or two ago about the churches in Worthing and how many churches that we have in the centre, within a sort of square mile, if you like, and most of them again at the sort of very beginning of the Victorian period, when all this building was going on. So many churches suddenly sprang up. Now as we come down Buckingham Road, you've got this very useful but rather ugly multi-storey car park, but it is useful obviously because it deposits you very close to the town and you can get in and do your shopping. Behind these great big plate glass windows, at one point was a carpet showroom. I don't know if it was Allied Carpets, but it was one of those sort of firms. And then during 2006, 2007 or somewhere around there, maybe it was 2008, during the slump, they closed down, and for a while there was a pop-up shop when that period when all the shops were shut or closed down, and people were utilising the space to try and encourage businesses that couldn't afford rates to go and do things in there. There was a pop-up shop, and there was a sort of, I think for a month, an exhibition of what people could do over in the winter period. Now this is down in Montague Street. This is one end of it, which has changed so many times. That's the other view down there. I'm not actually going to walk down Montague Street today, but I'm going to cut through here, come down to the sea. So this is Prospect Place, and then there's some beautiful, very old houses here, worth looking at, worth noting. Don't know their history, but they are very beautiful, with odd-looking dormer windows right at the top there. If you can just see those, which presumably were added much later. And you get the impression, I get the impression, I mean these are probably, I imagine they're more Georgian because of the size of the windows, I think, and the sash cords and things. Early terrace of houses. And that pebbles, those pebbles seem to be a common thing, because why would you not stick them into the render when your source of pebbles is literally just down in front of you? Here's another one, not this one, a closed off shop, but here. Look at this. Now, I'm not sure if this is the one, but one of these roads is an old brewery. I don't think it's this one here. This is, again, is very lovely. What I like, I don't know if there's anybody actually in it. It looks a bit boarded up. I like this. The steps up. The steps up into the property. I don't suppose anybody lives in there. It does look like it's pretty empty. Right, let's head down to the beach. It's a bit windier down there. Bit of artwork here. A few characters you might recognise. And the coast road here, it's about 8 o'clock now. Not as busy as it would be, crawling along as people are trying to get to work. Let's just cross over. And here we have the Worthing promenade and seafront, which I always think in its day must have been rather magnificent. I mean, it's fairly pleasant now, but in the days of perambulation, it must have been fantastic. And the whole prom, right, crunching on the beach as ever. That wide beach, and the sea is out, and I imagine it's coming in I haven't looked at the tides. If I put myself in silhouette, you can probably see behind me the west side of the pier. We'll go crunching down to the beach here to some of these water breaks, or groynes, as they are correctly termed, I believe. And I was accosted by one of my viewers a while back now that these wonderful groynes, these old wooden groynes here, that are festooned with seaweed and I guess some sort of sea moss. I guess it's a weed really, but that these old groynes, which I imagine it must be oak or something, are going to be replaced all along with granite rocks, which I guess will last longer and not have to have the expense of replacing them every however many years they are to replace. I don't know, they might last 100 years, I have no idea. But it would change the whole character of the beach. And I think that's true really. I mean, that once you put in the rocks, they'll probably last for 1,000 years or more. You know, the erosion is a slow process, although it's constant. But these old groynes coming down, which really keep the shingle in place, they are so characteristic of so many seaside towns along the south coast here, because we don't naturally have great lumps of granite or large rocks at all. So it would be very much out of character. And I am very much one of those people who thinks that history and tradition, while we still have to progress, we should try and keep as much as possible, because it's been like that for so long. And just because we can, I don't know that we always ought to, unless there's an incredibly good reason. Although now I don't suppose they will get replaced, certainly not in the foreseeable future, because the cost of the pandemic is going to be repaid over quite a long period, I imagine, and sort of unnecessary luxuries like replacing them with stone might be further down the list. Here we are by the water. And that sound, it's very therapeutic. The natural sound of just the gentle waves lapping. It's like being by a stream. All these wonderful sounds of nature that perhaps if you do manage to get out from wherever you are with the fewer cars is actually, you know, one of the upsides of this enforced lockdown and the pandemic that we're going through. One of the upsides is that perhaps we're more aware of nature now because we can hear it. There's less traffic and fewer, pretty much non-existent aeroplanes. Looking back eastwards to the pier, there's a runner in the distance with their dog, and if I just gently pan along, we see like a set of teeth with holes in it, the flats, the hotels and the various buildings that strewn the foreshore. That was the word I was looking for the other day, foreshore. I couldn't think of it till I saw it. And there's our runner. Morning! So I'm going to make my way back home and hello! Got a little dog here. Thank you. It's all right. Go on. There you go. Little dog jumping up at my leg. which is all very well, but he had wet feet. He doesn't seem to be wanting to go to his owner. He's just sort of sitting there. I don't know if you can see that. He's sort of sitting there looking. Oh, he's going. Of course he's going. Before I end, my plan today is to delve into my shed, which is full of junk. Big-ish garden shed, which has become a bit of a dumping ground because I only live in a 2 up, 2 down house, and so I have no attic space or anything like that, so it tends to have everything in it just dumped in there. And in there somewhere is my bicycle, and I'm going to extract it and try and see if it's any fit state to be ridden, because it would be lovely to go a little further afield and not take the mickey by being out all day and that sort of thing, but to perhaps do some cycling videos. Not quite sure how the sound will work on that because it'll probably be a bit windy, but also maybe to be able to park it somewhere and then go for a little stroll or a little bit of filming. I don't want to take the mickey because you're supposed to do one bit of exercise, so 1 cycle ride and 1 walk, but I think if one is able to sort of go from pillar to post when there's nowhere around and just stop and do a bit of filming and then carry on, I think that's surely got to be permissible. As you can see, at this sort of time in the morning, there are a few people about, and anybody that is, we're all doing the social distancing. I know some people are worried and they say, stay indoors, and I understand that people are concerned. But we are permitted a form of exercise, and I'm just walking and holding a camera, you know, and I'm being as pleasant and respectful as anybody, as we all are. So I don't think there's really any problem. Right, back for me, make a cup of coffee and have some breakfast. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video. Here we go, look, here's an example of the groynes that I was telling you about that are now, I think it's granite rock, just here. It does change the nature of the beach completely. You know, you might think you're in somewhere like Wales or somewhere. So let's end on this sign appropriately at this time. Till next time, bye bye.